So this is like the beginning before. We're getting ready.
Because when I was in it, I had to keep fighting her off.
So I'm gonna vomit.
Started trying to give me stuff, and I'm like,
Not yet.
Girl.
Stay out, girl. And me, I'm like,
hey,
what am I gonna know?
Google in here?
It's Google. I was gonna ask her to take the light down.
No.
I'm so weird.
Can you go ask her to turn that down?
It's the better one to what?
That's our trusty cameraman,
Oh my God.
David. Hey, hashtag my first channeling
25.
experience.
Hashtag Kelly's first time.
Hashtag channeling virgin. Okay.
Oh my God. So I feel like just want to pause for just a second and just a little blurb about channeling, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's very different than like just reading somebody.
I had no idea what to expect.
I never know what to expect every time I've done it. I've done it a handful of times. It's always very interesting and crazy things happen. And so like it's really just a state where I am contacting a person and I'm just like, how it works for me is I just hold them in their energy in my mind's eye, and I just call that energy, and then like I just either feel it or I don't. And there's been times where I'm like, I'm not really connecting with it, or it's here. It's here, or it's not. And I know, like I'm saying in the video, like I just felt her immediately, and like
And she being Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston. This is a channel of Whitney Houston.
Yeah, I guess we should say that.
We should say that. So I just kind of get in a space, get in a mode where like, you'll see as we continue and we'll point it out, like in my mind's eye and like what happens with me is like, as I breathe in, I am taking their energy on, and as I breathe out, mine is leaving. And so like what you're getting is not me in it.
Right.
Like, and you can attest, I get certainly attest. I remember nothing what happens in my channel. Like it's there for a split second. Remember like when you wake up from a dream and it's there for a couple seconds and you remember it vividly and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Completely. That's exactly what channeling is like. It's exactly how I feel when I do it, and I don't have any explanation for it other than like, because you asked me like, where do you go? And I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, well, I can only understand it like, you know, when there's like we ever watched a movie and like things are being dictated. There's a third person
like
narration.
Yeah.
I'm just where they're at, just understanding and hearing, like, but I'm not around.
Right.
Like I can feel myself in there sometimes, but not coming through in the way that like I'm here right now.
Yeah.
It's very much I'm gonna sign out. You're signing in.
Hi, Teddy.
Hi, Teddy. Hi, Teddy. This is Ted.
She wants a cameo.
All right, sorry. So we'll continue. I just wanted to get that down because I know there's a lot of questions like, what is channeling? How does it work? How does it feel? But that's the basis of it. Ted, I love you. Come here. You're going to notice, kind of going through this, like, we noticed this, like, the video almost breathes with me. It's really weird.
Yeah, so when you see that camera focus, the cameraman can attest, David, right? Verify that you are not doing anything.
Yes. So very strangely, the camera was set to autofocus, locked on them. I know the lighting was low, but if you notice throughout the video, it stays perfectly fine. And then when he breathes the channel, it out of focus is like something else is in front of the lens, which is
and as she's coming in, here we go. So crazy. This is also the first channel I've ever recorded.
Yes, so Chris has never seen himself channeling before. why did you pick Mark to be his guardian angel?
He was able to be willing. I guess I just don't understand the question.
Well, she came to Mark and gave him.
I did.
Whitney, you came to Mark and you gave him the information for the
She
book.
told me.
So why did you? Why of
And he
all
plays
people
Kelly.
did you use Mark?
There's always been one thing I've been in my life, and that's calculated. He has the means, he has the ability. He was there, ready, able, and willing. He can hear me.
Okay.
You can hear me.
So can Chris.
Apparently.
What does Mark need to do to get this book finally published?
I feel like I want to pause for a second
Absolutely.
and just talk about
Put the
like
context.
who Mark is, because
Yeah.
we're like talking about Mark and people are like,
Who is
the
that?
hell is Mark?
So Chris asked me if I wanted to see him channel, and he asked me who I would like to see channeled. So I asked him to channel Whitney Houston for my friend Mark, because my friend Mark is writing a book called How Will I Know?
Wrote a book, like
He's written a book and he is working to get it published, and it's called How Will I Know? And it is about Whitney Houston, because Whitney actually is
Are there any copies out or anything that people
not
can
yet.
get? Or, okay.
Not yet.
It's in production.
It's in production phase. And so, Mark's been working to find a publisher.
Maybe if we talk to him, we can add his information at the end.
Yes.
People want to reach out.
Yes.
Okay.
But Whitney Houston has come to Mark, and so I was hopeful to try to get some information to help him kind of ease his anxiety around finding the perfect publisher, because we know in manifestation it's already happening. But sometimes we as humans, we get a little anxious.
Yeah. And it was really funny because when me and Kelly really started working together, we work together. I'm a psychic medium. Kelly is a psychic tarot reader. And like, we just work together divinely. But like, this man came up and I'm like, why am I hearing Whitney Houston singing I said that to you. I'm
Yes.
like, why do I hear Whitney Houston? Like, I just said it out of the blue. I'm like, I just hear Whitney Houston singing How Will I Know? And she's like, stop.
Because Mark hears it all the time.
It was hilarious. So I'm glad that was your inspiration. That wasn't even on my radar. But just for context, this reading was for her clarification to Mark. We do get to other questions for sure. I've been able to watch it back and it's crazy, but here we go.
I just feel like I've been wrapping my head around for a minute. I just think it's time. I'm trying to make the connections. It's not going as fast as I thought.
Okay. So do you know when it's going to be picked up and published?
It's so weird.
That camera
Gain some traction.
going in and out.
Wow. Definitely big progress headed into the new year.
Okay.
Will it be an international bestseller?
That look was creepy.
Notice the camera
When do you see
again.
that happening?
There's no reason to Dave, is there a reason to autofocus here?
No, if you're looking, the light doesn't change. It just, whenever you breathe, and if you listen closely, you can hear Chris breathing deeply. Yeah, it's really bizarre.
Catch on. But by 2026, I would imagine we've done all the work.
2026.
Do you see it being made into a movie?
I don't know what that means. A couple? Sure. I'll take it.
Oh yeah.
What should Mark do right now? What's his best strategy?
He just relax. I've got it all taken care of.
Sage advice.
Yes. That's exactly how to manifest.
Is there anything necessary that he has to do with regards to your family?
I love this part. Just wait for it.
These are a lot of technical questions.
What is that?
He just has to do it. It's been done. It's already done.
Manifestation.
I love that answer though. Like, it's already been done.
What would you say? If somebody came to you and said, "I've got your dead sister."
What would you say if somebody came to you and said, "I've got your dead sister on the line"?
I don't know anything else.
I think she was a little annoyed with you right there.
I think she was.
Say?
You've got me here for this. This one's quizzical.
I'm trying to help my friend Mark out because he's really struggling. He really wants this book to honor you as a legacy. And
Oh,
your memory.
Whitney.
And I think he's feeling like he's failing you.
Wouldn't have picked him if I didn't think he was capable. It'll happen.
You need to calm down.
You're being too loud.
Oh, do you see a lottery win for him?
Oof.
I mean, he won the lottery with you, but of course, but
We're doing pick threes, pick fours, or
he wants to win a big lottery. That's like one of his manifestations that he really wants.
here I am.
That's right. You are the
Thank God.
lottery. David, any questions?
I don't know what to ask.
Doesn't know what to ask.
You were one of my.
David, what if you were given another opportunity? Like, now you're on the other side of it. What would you have asked? Because I'm like pissed at y'all because I'm thinking so many questions I would ask.
know.
And I'm like, are you for real?
Well, I think that I didn't really understand the whole channeling thing, right?
For sure.
Because it was the first time.
For
so in
sure.
fairness to me,
David's been there. And he's like, love you, goodbye.
I don't think I was more starstruck. Maybe I don't know. With those types of, because we've done channeling before with different people, with science people. So with that, I always have questions, to spit out. But like with someone, I don't know. It's different. It's definitely different.
How have your science questions gone?
Oh, they've always gone bam, bam, bam. I always get the answers. I mean, we definitely have to record that at some point. Like,
Sometime we'll do that, for sure.
yeah.
Interesting. Because I'm just like, I'm listening to this back and I'm just like, y'all. Like, I don't even know, like, Whitney's whole history. I'm just like, there might have been some questions.
Yeah.
We should have had Mark.
We should have had a Mark.
Continuing.
favorites as a kid growing up.
Yeah,
I loved your music. and
yeah, when I
videos.
heard you died, I was like,
Horrible. I cried.
yeah.
It was too
I
soon.
remember when she died in the club I went to, the gay
Yeah.
club. Just played an anthem of
It's
her
too
all
soon.
night.
I sang,
It's great.
I believe we are the children. I mean, I believe the children are our future when I was in 5th grade for the talent show.
I was so caught off.
Do you miss anything?
She's over us.
Just done.
Yes. There's a lot of worldly things that are delightful, but not anything that can't be created or recreated in feeling over here.
Is there anything you miss? Yeah.
A lot of things have come back to me since I've been
I wanted to pause it there because when I heard this, it hit me differently than it did the first time.
Okay.
When she said a lot of things had come back to me, and thinking about Whitney's life physically, and after she passed, her daughter passed.
That's right.
So when she's saying
I forgot
a
about
lot
that.
of things have come back to me, I'm like,
oh,
that hits differently. I'm like,
I forgot that her
got it.
daughter had passed.
Yeah.
Right.
which we only know. No spoilers, but there's a part coming up where somebody's mentioned, and she mentions that in the interview that she had had a miscarriage prior to her daughter being born. And so saying there's been a lot of things that have come back to me.
I got it.
Like, goosies.
Yes.
Literally, look at this. Are those feel them?
Yes.
Are they goosies?
Yes.
Like, just like gave me the chills, and I'm like, I understand. Like, I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, oh my god.
That makes much more sense.
That makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Did you think about that before?
I did not.
Crazy.
Crazy.
There's also this orb that keeps
Yes.
showing up between
The
us.
orb, yeah.
So weird. Okay, we do have to go into this because you just saw a transition. Our camera was receiving too much data to compute, and so it shut down. You're gonna see that happen like 3 times during the video. And like, you have to understand, the whole day prior to this, we recorded for hours. We did a whole session online. We did all of these things, all these recordings, and we never had a problem once.
Yep.
We had a battery go dead, which was we expect
Right.
because of the energy we're pulling. But these little transitions kept happening.
Yes.
And it was, we didn't know it during.
Yeah.
Only David did. He's like fighting with it to get it going. It makes more sense as we go, so I'm just gonna play it. And
yeah.
Is it suicide if just one is resigned to death if it should happen?
I don't know.
Did I go and kill myself? Well, no.
Did you take responsibility for it?
How couldn't I? I mean,
Would you do it differently now that you know the outcome?
I think I would have owned up to, stood up to the people in my life that did this. I fall short of a victim because in every moment that things happened, I stayed with the mentality of, well, it'll just get better. No, it doesn't. And then somehow this beautiful thing becomes tragedy.
Such a tragedy. Is Michael Jackson with you?
I mean, he's around.
Okay.
it's kind of coy.
I thought I would live older.
Perfectly.
It's funny when you get old and you
It's
think that
the
things
craziest
are just
thing.
phase and then they carry through to your adulthood.
Notice the camera again.
It's just a bump here, a bump there, and maybe I'll feel better. Then I won't need it.
That was a reference to drugs.
Yes.
Probably my
I was
biggest
unsure the first time because I
Yes, yes, yeah.
couldn't quite hear it.
And you were so loved by so many people.
Got Barbara Walters over here.
I'll take that compliment, Barbara Walters.
We have to talk about this for a quick moment.
by the way,
I'm sorry.
I was
I know
there.
this turns into an hour-long video, but
Okay, wait. I was there and missed Barbara Walters, that comment, until
In
we
person.
watched it back. Totally missed it.
so that was sad, right? And like, I have to tell you, because when I saw the video, I noticed a pattern, and it was like, I think she was getting a little emotional about it.
I think so too, yeah.
And it was like, but then you saw the camera fade and blur.
Right.
And then we talk about Barbara Walters, and then the next day, David pulls up a Whitney and Barbara Walters interview where it is about a lot of vulnerable shit.
Yeah.
And so the context of what she's saying is so freaking relevant.
And all of us didn't even know
I'm like,
that video existed.
She had a Barbara Walters interview? What?
Yeah. I was too young. They would have been way too young, and I was too young to have known that video existed.
Yeah, I walking the dog, and for whatever reason, something just came into my mind at that moment because I wasn't even thinking about the video. And then I was just pulled my phone out and I typed it up, the very first thing.
Barbara Walters, Whitney Houston interview?
Yes, and then I started watching it, and I was like,
I'm going to tell you something that's
Holy
also
crap.
weird about watching it is watch what happens in this video and that interview.
yes.
It's a little weird.
We'll go ahead and link it down below.
Yeah,
so you
we'll
can
link
see.
it.
We'll link it.
Had some fulfillment in life knowing that you were loved
What do you
by
got? David.
many, many people and are still missed to this day by many, many people. Even some that weren't even born at the time.
You've got Whitney Houston on the line.
I mean, come on, talk to us.
It's funny because many of your songs were about love.
The breath again. It's weird.
I feel like that was definitely your message.
There's really nothing I wanted more than peace. And not just for the world, but for me.
Sure. Makes sense.
You have to imagine,
I'll be back.
everybody
I'm
just
on.
understands the star. And then the short-term struggle or the long-term struggle, if you look at the history of things, but
It's my favorite
my
part.
whole life was fighting for love through childhood, until my last day. But I didn't feel anything, and I think that's going to be important to say. I wasn't in fear or pain, and it was just...
Are you at peace now?